Thank you for joining us on an adventure into the world of America's most exciting horse, the Paso Fino.
Thank you for joining us for the Grand National Paso Fino Horse Show and Sale. For 29 years, we've had one of the greatest shows on earth, we feel, with America's most beautiful horse. That's the Paso Fino. The Paso Fino has the smoothest ride with its 4-beat lateral gait, and we're here at the Georgia National Fairgrounds and Agri Center for the show for this year, 2001. We're excited about it for many reasons. Number one, it's the largest show in the history of the Paso Fino breed. As a matter of fact, we have over 900 horses registered here. Let's take you sort of backstage of a horse show, especially the Paso Fino, and give you an idea of how this is put together and some of the things it takes to make it work. We'll talk to some of the riders, those in competition. We'll talk to some of the ones that put this show together. We think you'll enjoy the next 30 minutes here as we take you on an experience of a lifetime with the world's smoothest riding horse, the American Paso Fino.
To me, a Paso Fino is a living sculpture. It's a work of art. That sculpture changes as it moves. When you see a Paso Fino with the correct phenotype, you are looking at a magnificent thing.
What does it take to put on a Grand National show of this magnitude? Let's find out. Let's talk to the show manager here. Let's talk to Whizzer Baker. Whizzer, you do a lot of these shows across the nation. How does the Paso Fino Grand Nationals compare?
The Paso Fino Grand Nationals has a great deal of emotion between the exhibitors, the spectators, so a lot of planning to make sure that everyone runs smoothly, all of the emotions come together to put on an event that spectators and exhibitors alike get to showcase this fine horse.
When do you get started with this particular event?
We're beginning now to plan for 2002.
And this year, obviously, it's one of the largest ones we've ever had. Some of the things that people were certainly concerned about this past year is, of course, the situation that happened at the World Towers in New York, and, of course, that affected a lot of people flying in. But most of these people were determined to be here, and they knew that things must go on.
Absolutely. The last thing we wanted to do was stop. The American way of life is to continue regardless of the adversity. We're looking at space constraints. We're looking at spreading out thousands of horses, trailers, and trucks. We need to be able to get those people in here, show their horses, enjoy the event, and showcase this animal to the best of its ability.
What's the most fun part of this for you? Obviously, it's a lot of work.
The people. The people and the satisfaction I get from having them enjoy their horse show.
We are glad to have you along for PFHA Presents Champions in Perry, Georgia. Highlights and a look inside the 2001 Paso Fino Horse Association's Grand National Show and Sale. Your host is Al Berry, Director of Marketing for the Paso Fino Horse Association. When we return, Al chats with Hilda Morgan about Paso pleasure riding. And who are these people that come from all walks of life and in all ages? They are Paso people, and we will meet some of them coming up.
This is the American Paso Fino. From show, trail riding, team pitting, cutting, or even reining, you can't beat the versatility of the Paso Fino. Their smooth, bounce-free gait makes riding comfortable, fun, and easy for all the family. Paso Finos are affordable and will give you the riding experience of a lifetime. The Paso Fino Horse Association has a beautiful 24-page brochure with information about this fantastic breed, including a list of breeders. It's yours free by calling or riding the Paso Fino Horse Association. The opening of the annual Paso Fino Horse Sale is always exciting and moving. This year, a special salute to the United States was featured as this beautiful Fino black stallion and rider presents the flag to the audience.
I am very excited. I'm very proud of my horse. In the beginning, she didn't do as well on the Fino strip, but at the end of the class, she proved to be the best, and we love her.
Let's talk with Hilda Morgan, who heads up the PFHA Events Committee here at the PFHA Grand National Show and Sale in Perry, Georgia. Hilda, you've been working on this booth a long time. There's a lot of work and you've had a lot of support.
We sure have. We've been working all year getting ready for the first trail riding information booth for the Paso Fino Horse Association at our Nationals this year.
You know, last year, the Pasos for Pleasure program, which you have all the information on here, grew 300%. What does that tell you?
That tells us that there's more members of our association out there having a lot of fun with their Pasos.
What about your relationship with the Pasos? How many do you have? How long have you been riding?
I have one. I've been riding horses since I was about 18, different breeds of horses, but definitely the Paso Fino is the horse to have and have a lot of fun and have a smooth ride.
What's your name?
My name is Nana, and I'm gonna ride, and I'm going in lean line.
And how old are you, Jana?
I'm 4 years old.
And where do you live?
I live in lean line.
Okay, that's pretty good. And you?
My name is Miss Stephanie, and I'm riding in Quarto ley line.
And where do you live?
And Mississippi. My name is Alyssa, and I'm going to compete in sub-junior youth.
Roger Edgell is here, and you have been here before, obviously.
Yes, I have. I've been coming for about 4 years now, 4 or 5 years.
And you're coming from where?
North Carolina, East Bend, North Carolina.
Tell us about your activities here at the show.
Oh, they include so many different things. There's just so many different things going on. I just love being around the horses and all the good people. Showing the Bay of Forma class with my yearling filly here, and I just love it. It's a good thing, and I enjoy every minute of it.
This is Luann Oberschleck and her horse, Sunyador. And I'm with my grandmother, Kate Chiappetta.
How many years have you been riding?
I've been riding for like 7 or 8 years, a long time, like pretty much all my life.
Although the exhibitors take their competition seriously, they also have a reputation for knowing how to have fun. It's evident when you see how they decorate their stalls.
One of the exciting things that the exhibitors look forward to doing at the show and at this fair is decorating their stalls. And they take a lot of thought in putting together some very exquisite kinds of decorations, and to decorate not only their stall and their tack area, but to make the whole area very appropriate and very inviting for people to come down and look at their horses and get a glimpse of their farms and their lives with Paso Fino horses. And so one of the things that we do to thank them for that is to have a stall decoration competition. And we break that down into three areas. First, we look at the small exhibitor who has 1 to 4 stalls. Then we have the middle competition area, which is 5 to 9 stalls. And then for the large farms, they compete in the 10 and over category. So we give a very nice trophy. It's actually the trophy that the first place ribbon, the first place winners receive.
Paso Fino Horse Association member Stan Goldman of New Jersey had a vision for a book telling the dramatic story of the horse's return to America. This book not only appeals to the horse lover, but to the people that are not equine. How were you able to come up with something that appeals to everybody?
I think there were three things that made that happen. Number one, the product that we're working with, the Paso Fino, is a product that's almost emotional by itself. It's a beautiful sculptural thing. Secondly, the story is very interesting and amazingly hasn't been told about the return of the horse after an absence of 10,000 years. And I think people find that interesting. And thirdly, Robert's skill. Robert Vavre is a wonderful photographer, and he has a way of touching people's souls. And he believed in the story, and he believed in. Actually, Robert has always worked with Spanish horses, but he had never worked with Paso Finos. And when he came to the farm and saw the Pasos, he absolutely fell in love with them.
Well, she cut up real bad and I got excused.
Does that happen often or just every now and then? Usually it's a pretty good horse, right?
Well, yeah, but she's pretty hot. She gets all
excited.
Yes.
She gets excited. Sit off, get it here, get midline, and sit nicely. Don't look for your stirrups. It's hard because you're like this. Often it depends on your height.
Berenger, you had a good crowd and a very interesting crowd at that.
Oh yes, we have a lot of little kids, big kids, a lot of questions. Parents, they want to know what's going on. Betsy McHugh and Robin Ratliff helped out answering questions. We put a child on the horse. We showed the correct posture, everything that it takes to win in the show ring, because I think that's what the kids want to know, how best they can show their horses and look good while they do it. We're trying to get the kids involved in other activities besides horse showing. We want them to learn about horses. We want to make them enthusiastic about the Paso, because what we found is that these children, they grow up to be the adults, the owners, the trainers, the breeders of the Paso. So we depend on them to keep the breed going.
It's called the Junior Judging Contest. And what we are trying to do is educate our children in what it is that the judges look for, what it is that goes on when a class is being judged.
The first place had a better board than the second place.
What about the transitions and the walk?
The walk was a good flat walk, and the transitions were good also.
So what we do, we ask them to judge a class,
to follow the PFHA rules. In this case, we judge the Paso Pleasure class, which requires a horse to do 3 speeds: Paso Corto, Paso Largo, and flat walk. Manners are a great part of the class. Disposition, willingness of the horse, smoothness in the transition, and what the word describes, that it is a pleasure to show this horse. It still needs to have the qualities.
The horse was steady throughout the class. The horse had a good largo, and the walk was good.
So your second place horse, if you didn't have a true flat walk, why did you place it so high?
Because the overall average of that horse was in the second place area.
I'm 629. I liked its largo. Its corto was okay. I felt it was too fast, but I still liked how it went.
And I thought 513 had a good walk, and his horse's head was up very good.
Very good, very good. Thank you.
This is the American Paso Fino. From show, trail riding, team pitting, cutting, or even reining, you can't beat the versatility of the Paso Fino. Their smooth, bounce-free gait makes riding comfortable, fun, and easy for all the family. Paso Finos are affordable and will give you the riding experience of a lifetime. The Paso Fino Horse Association has a beautiful 24-page brochure with information about this fantastic breed, including a list of breeders. It's yours free by calling or writing the Paso Fino Horse Association.
This was the largest show that we've ever had. It's also the largest show that Perry's ever had.
This is the American Paso Fino. From show, trail riding, team pitting, cutting, or even reining, you can't beat the versatility of the Paso Fino. Their smooth, bounce-free gait makes riding comfortable, fun, and easy for all the family. Paso Finos are affordable and will give you the riding experience of a lifetime. The Paso Fino Horse Association has a beautiful 24-page brochure with information about this fantastic breed, including a list of breeders. It's yours free by calling or writing the Paso Fino Horse Association.
When little girls in the United States take their Barbie doll horse and say, "This is Barbie's Paso Fino," then we know we've penetrated the market in the right way.
The president of the Paso Fino Horse Association in California is Martha Coolidge. She's a director in Hollywood. She balances a very busy schedule between directing movies and horses. Martha, welcome to the program. Tell us, how do you do that?
Oh my, I guess I have to learn how to allocate time very well. I'm out of town a lot when I'm working, and when I'm in town, the lucky thing about my work is I don't work all year round, so then I can ride every day.
The work you're doing?
The work I'm doing, I direct movies. I've directed movies like Valley Girl and Rambling Rose, and Out to Sea with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. I just finished the season finale for Sex and the City. Otherwise, I am a horse breeder and rider enthusiast, obviously showing, and I'm riding in a championship today.
The California organization is growing too. I was out there this past year and I got to meet a lot of your fantastic workers. What are some of the things you've been accomplishing?
Well, in California, we have a huge horse market and a huge horse public, but the Paso Fino is relatively little known out there. We do have a large number of members, and it is growing. We have a lot of youth riders. We do exhibitions. We've ridden in the Rose Parade and the Hollywood Christmas Parades quite a few years. We try to promote the horses in parades all over the state. I'm trying to get people to understand in Hollywood is how beautiful the Paso Fino is and what a luxury vehicle it is. I mean, the horse is a completely smooth ride, unlike virtually any other horse in the world. It is the Mercedes-Benz, the Cadillac, the luxury car of all time in horsepower. And nothing makes an actor look better than a Paso Fino. And I try to put the Paso Finos in every movie that I do. And it's that unique 4-beat gait that they do with such a beautiful style and collection that makes any rider look elegant and ride completely smoothly.
What you've been viewing is something that came out of the thoughts and ideas of a lady by the name of Rosalie McWilliam. Rosalie started the Paso Fino Horse Association with some of her friends a number of years ago, and she's about to tell us about it. Rosalie, welcome to the show. Tell us about how all of this started.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Rosalie McWilliam did not start it all by herself. There were people who had found these horses and they wanted a registry. And so they said, Rosalie, start a registry. Well, I thought, all right, I'll see what I can do. The first year, I carried our registry around in a plastic file box that I bought at the drugstore. And the entire registry was in that box. But there were people who cared about this breed. There were two people who did not come on with our association, but the couples of the Baileys and the Lorenzas in Pennsylvania very, very much deserve credit for the early days.
Those early days, what years are we talking about?
Well, my husband and I brought our horses home in 1960, and by 64 that was when we registered the first horse. And then it went slowly through the 60s with some impromptu shows, because people like George LaHood, who was we had a position then called head of the chairman of the board, which was very apropos. And they wanted to show. So we started impromptu shows practically in people's backyard and wrote rules as we went. And it was an exciting time, but the horses had a place in the United States. I knew it when I found them in Puerto Rico, a naturally gaited horse, which is what we have striven to keep through the years. They were so beautiful, so amiable, and so smooth. So that was more or less the beginning.
Here at the Grand Nationals today, thinking back to the beginning, how do you feel about how this organization has developed?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is I'm quite glad I don't have to carry the registry around with me. I believe that would be a bit difficult. I am astounded at the growth. I'm pleased. I have watched a number of almost fundamental changes. Our horses have improved. We have to fight for one or two things, particularly for the naturalness of our horse, and we want to continue to bear down on training methods. We want these horses treated as the royal creatures they are. And those are some of my thoughts.
Rosalie, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. You have made history in the equine world.
Well, it's been fun. Thank you very much, Al.